Welcome to the 30-minute hour. It's the personal development podcast for the seven-figure entrepreneur who's looking to level up and become unstoppable. I'm your host, Eric Twiggs, your procrastination prevention partner, and I've conducted over 28,000 coaching sessions with seven-figure entrepreneurs. Now, normally I've got my co-host, the super CEO, Ted Fells. He won't be joining us this evening. He is actually celebrating his mother's 94th birthday.
Woo-hoo! Awesome.
Shout out to Ted's mom on the 90. She's 94 years young, and that is outstanding. All right. So today is a unique show. If you look at just all of the faces, those of you that are watching on the streaming platforms, you see there's several faces looking back at you. For those of you listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, use your imagination. but there's faces that are looking at. We've got a special show today. Today we're talking about how to lift your life to the next level. That's the theme of our show today. And it's not L-I-F-T, it's L-Y-F-T. Right. We'll get more into that as we go, but you'll definitely be inspired. You'll discover the power of the right networks and how it is that you can seem like you're in the right place at the right time. So we'll talk more about that. But let me go ahead and introduce my guests. My guests, they're the founders of the Soul Sisters Lyft Conference. And they believe it was divine order that placed them in each other's lives. More info to come on that. Please join me in welcoming to the 30-minute hour podcast. We've got Kelly Whaley, Angela Honey Brown Hood, and Latonya P. Jones. Welcome. All right.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
It's truly an honor to have you on. And I'm really excited about talking about this Soul Sisters Lyft Conference. Really curious to hear the backstory and everything that went into it. But first off, let's just go around and make sure we know the individual story about you. So let's starting with you, Latonya P. Jones. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, your background.
All righty. So my name is Latonya P. Jones. I am actually a native of Chicago, Illinois. And I've been down here in Atlanta, Georgia for the last 31, going on 32 years. Actually, August 1st, tomorrow will be my 32nd year, right, here in Georgia. So I'm an official peach, right? And also been blessed to be a part of this awesome group of women called the Soul Sisters, right? And we are life lifters, basically. And this conference that we're going to talk to you guys about tonight will explain to you guys in more detail all the exciting things that we have in store for these women. So that's me in a nutshell.
All right. Well, welcome. Okay, Angela, tell us about yourself.
Hi, my name is Angela Honey Brown Hood. I'm a native of Chicago as well. I've been in Georgia for 10 years. I retired from the insurance industry, and now I'm pursuing a career in acting, filmmaking. I work with media at my church. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother. I wear many, many hats, and just blessed to be a part of this sisterhood and just looking so forward and excited about the Life Lift Conference that's coming your way.
All right. Thank you. Kelly.
Hello. Thanks for having us. Thank you so much again for having us. So I'm Kelly Whaley, and I am happily married to Mr. Perry Whaley. I am a mother of two young adult daughters, grandmother of 3. And I'm excited about the Women's Life Lift Conference altogether. I am a Georgia native, and I know that I'm rare. So I am a true peach, but this Women's Life Lift Conference, I think it's needed. I think this is the time for us to do what we're doing. COVID did a number on so many of us. And I just believe that this is the time now to get that lift. You know, we were all kind of in a slump a little bit. So now is the time to get that lift, to get back into doing what we do best as women, encouraging the sisterhood. It's just time. It's just time.
It is time, absolutely. And there's a fourth member, Geraldine Holmes, who was not able to make it this evening, but we definitely wish her the best as well. Now, I'm curious, like how did the four of you come together? How did you meet?
So actually, the four of us met. It was very ironic situation. So I'll start with Angela. Actually hired my husband, DJ Linnell, for a party that she was hosting. And mind you, all four of us are event planners, right? So she found him through a mutual friend of theirs, or her cousin, I believe. And she hired him. And once he did her party, we met, we just clicked, you know, and we just formed a relationship. So I also have events, and she attended one of my holiday parties and happened to sit at the same table that Kelly Whaley was sitting at, right? Her and her husband were sitting with Kelly Whaley. They got together, they clicked. Okay, so that's how that connection took place. Geraldine Holmes, on the other hand, she's another event planner who had We Are Queens. She had an event, We Are Queens. Her and Kelly worked together at the CDC. And I happened to be asked to pray at that event. I prayed at the event, and I was sitting at the same table Kelly was sitting at. Kelly and I met through that event that Jerry had. We clicked, and then like all four of us just collaboratively just clicked and ended up being soul sisters, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's just an amazing story. It's not normal that you just meet three other people, you're on the same page, you have similar backgrounds, and everybody's kind of in agreement. So would you say that that's just lucky, or do you attribute it to something else?
I say it's divine.
Yes.
I think it's God ordained, and that it's definitely divine.
Okay. And I'm curious, what advice do you have for, because I just believe timing is everything, right? You know, sometimes you can get certain things just by being in the right place at the right time, divine timing. What advice do you have? We have entrepreneurs that are watching us. What can our entrepreneurs do to be in alignment so that they can come across the right people that they need to move forward?
Well, I'm gonna jump in on this one because I consider myself like a multipreneur, and I believe my sisters are too. We all are pretty much on the same page. But in terms of how others can just jump on board, as you're saying, ask your question again. I want to make sure I answer this one correctly.
Well, what can they do to be in the right place at the right time, or make it more likely that they attract the people that they need to move forward?
Well, you know what? It goes right back to when you hear the saying, being around like-minded people, it really is true. You have to be and surround yourselves around like-minded people. We are the perfect example of that. We didn't necessarily know what each other did, but we saw it visibly because we were attending each other's events. But that's how the connection happened, because each of us doing different events. It's not just that we were doing events, but they were doing events well, and they were doing it in excellence. But because we all had the same like-mindedness, that's what attracted us to each other. And when you put yourself in a circle of not just, women, but when you're surrounded by business-minded people who are committed, people who are dedicated to their craft and what they're doing, you can't help but succeed, honestly. But it's when you infiltrate that circle with folks who don't belong there, that's when we get unfocused. And so I believe as entrepreneurs, put yourself in the same room with the places you're trying to go and the people you're trying to emulate. And then I have a saying that I absolutely love. You just got to get started.
Mm.
Start where you are. Do what you can and use what you got. And I promise you, it will take you far. It will take you far.
That's tweetable right there. Start where you are,
Do what you can
do what you can,
and use what you got.
and use what you got.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to be writing that down. Somebody that's writing that right now.
I wrote
That's
it down. That's why I say it so many times, because I heard it at a women's conference.
yeah. I just think a lot of times as an entrepreneur, you think you can just go out and make it happen on your own, but you have to realize that it takes it's a team sport, right? And I think for you to achieve certain things, you need the right people around you, and I think you just have to stay open to that. Now, I am curious about some of your personal life experiences that got you to this point. And maybe they were rock bottom moments, maybe they were just kind of epiphanies, but I'll throw that out there. Whoever wants to answer that one first. Like, what are some of the life experiences that you had as an individual that brought you to this moment?
Well, I'm gonna jump in on this one only because we kind of discussed some of the things that kind of hit us individually, personally. The reason the Life Live Conference exists is because here I was, a woman many years ago, going as a single mom, newly divorced, needing something to help elevate me to my next level. Didn't know what that looked like, didn't have a clue. But I knew I always had a love for sisterhood, and I had a love for bringing people together. And just through prayer, asking God to unite me with the right people. And honestly, without going into all the details, that's what he did. And that's how the conferencing and the speaking and the empowerment stuff kind of started from there. And then today is evidence of if you just start. Remember, we just talked about that, if you just start. Because sometimes we allow ourselves to kind of get stuck. We kind of get in that rut, kind of get in that pit, and we feel like there's no way out. And you truly have to, you got to climb out of that pit, because there's a big world out here. We got to focus on our gifts and our talents and our skills. But when you don't, it becomes stagnated, and you just got to start. That's my testimony for how we got started with, me getting started with doing the things that I've done in my life.
Okay. So so you had experienced some adversity and you started praying to, find the right people to help you move forward. Who's next? Who else would like? Angela?
Oh, well, I would just like to say on that note, they know my saying, God always gives you what you need. And God gave me these ladies. And they came in a time where I really, really had needed someone. And because, you have depended on other people for so long, and then family and friends, sometimes they will let you down. And then you feel like you're alone. But then God places people in your path, and he placed like-minded people in my path. And we just bond so well together, and we all needed to be lifted, and we were lifting up each other. So when Kelly came along with the idea of the Life Live Conference, the sisterhood, I thought it was an excellent idea to bring in a lot of other women that might need the same thing. Even some of the sisters that I was having issues with at the time, some of the family members I was having issues with at the time, I have invited them. So we have a team of magnificent speakers that's just going to set the room on fire, that's giving everybody what they need. So not only was I able to be uplifted, I want to be able to uplift other women, because it's a community of women out here that are cheering you on, are loving each other, and doing powerful things. And if we could just get everybody in the room to do it together and just to see what's out there, I think it'll be better, because we have to lift ourselves up in order to lift up others.
Okay. No, I think that's an excellent point. Then Latonya, anything you wanted to add to this?
Well, for me, it was just very important to say yes, because this is not just an event. This is not a party. This is a purpose, you
Mm.
know? And I look at it as kingdom business, because you're uplifting women, you're blessing women, you're enhancing them, empowering them, enlightening them, and all of that infused in one ball is just a ball of blessings. So being the vessel, one of the vessels to bring this thing together was definitely pivotal for me, because here I am in a situation where I can be a blessing to all families of the earth who've been blessed.
Mm. Yeah, what an opportunity. My goodness.
Awesome.
So okay, so I get it. You're like-minded. You got together. You say, hey, you know what? We are on the same page here. So how you go from that to knowing that okay, we need to do this Women's Life Lift conference. That's our contribution. Like, how do you get to that point?
Well, you know what, Eric? This again has a lot to do with being focused and lined up. We're all Christians. I have to just put that out there. We are all Christians. And that was like the icing on the cake because we all shared the same faith. And in just asking God what was next and asking God, because right before COVID was the original plan to do a women's retreat. You got the whole 2020, year 2020 coming. Everybody's talking about needing new vision, the 2020 vision and all of that. And then COVID hit. Right. And it's like, we can't do nothing, nothing but walk outside the front door and walk back in. But it was through prayer, asking God, okay, when can we reignite this conference? Because we've all kind of just been stuck indoors for so long. But like I was saying earlier, you're watching everybody kind of drowning and everybody just kind of grasping. And so just asking God when, and when he said go, when he gave the green light, asking the ladies, hey, are y'all interested? I said, God, if they say yes, it's on. And with them saying yes, it was like T was saying, Latonya was saying, is that it truly is a divine connection. But and even Angela was mentioning how, we have these powerhouse speakers coming. This is how you know that you're lined up in doing the right thing at the right time, because each of these speakers, when I tell you they are powerful in their own right, these ladies are amazing and they're doing some amazing things in the community. And with this being our first conference, we're just getting started, meaning our budget is not quite like we need it to look. And, we're trying to get there. But each of these powerhouse speakers said yes. They said yes. And they understood the mission. And that's when you are lined up for greatness. And we're excited about what God is going to do in this conference. This is not a church conference. Now, we are all faith-based, but it's a conference that's going to, we have three taglines for each day because it's a 3-day conference. So on Friday, you're going to come in and you're going to fuel your soul, because we are the soul sisters, right? We're going to have some fun. We're going to network. We're going to meet and greet and mix and mingle. But then on Saturday, you're going to get your soul. We're going to feed your soul with these speakers bringing it, talking about several different things, from getting your bag, getting your life right, life insurance, wills and trusts, things that we all seem to kind of put on the shelf a little bit. And then we're going to get in and talk about your health is your wealth. And then we're going to talk about healthy relationships. A lot of women have gone through traumatic situations and things like that. So that's what we're doing on Saturday. We're feeding the soul. And then on Sunday, we're filling the soul. And we have 2 other dynamic women ministers that are coming to minister to the soul. And Lord, when we leave and check out of that hotel, we have a brunch that's scheduled, and we're going to go to our brunch site, and we're having a Hatitude brunch, and we're going to end it and cap it off and leave these ladies with some beautiful nuggets. I'm telling you, this conference is more than just a women's conference and just putting a bunch of women in a room, vendors and all of that. We really and truly, because see, when someone dubbed us that name, Soul Sisters, I said, now, God, this has to mean something. What are we doing with this? What are we going to do with this? And so it has grown into what I believe in my heart that this is what God wanted to happen. So,
Oh, that's
yes.
fantastic. Thank you, Kelly. So you started to answer this, but I want to throw it. We'll throw it to Angela. So people go to conferences. I'm sure people have been to a lot of women's conferences. What are some other things that you think make this conference different from other women's conferences that are going on? Angela?
I don't think she can hear me.
Yeah, she may not. Maybe we lost audio with Angela. Okay, Latonya, I'll throw that to you.
Okay, so what makes this conference different from any other conference?
Oh, yeah, other women's conference that are out there.
Because I would not consider this a regular conference. You know, when I look at the agenda, when I look at all that's planned, when I look at all that's going to be given to these women, I look at this as a retreat. That's what makes a difference. Because at a regular conference, you see women, they're sitting there, they're looking attentive at a stage as somebody talking to them, they're taking notes. This conference is going to be interactive from Friday till Sunday, you know, so it's more to it than just sitting in a chair and watching somebody speak, you know. So with all of the interactive activities, with all of the things that we will be giving, you know, out tangibly as well as verbally to these women to like feel them and feed them, they're going to really be in for like a treat because of the fact that it's interactive, you know, all the evening activities, you know, from the conversations and cocktails slumber party on Friday night, talking about real life situations, to the fashion show on Saturday night, to the Hatitude brunch on Sunday. I mean, you know, it's interactive. It's more than just sitting in a conference room looking at somebody on the stage. So that's the difference. The difference is it's a retreat more so than a regular conference.
Well, okay. So this next question, I'm asking for a friend, right?
Okay.
What if, you know, bear with me here. So what if there was this man, he's a podcast host, and he wanted to attend this women's, is there any, I mean, this sounds so great. He might be interested in that, you know. Can men attend, or is it just women? No.
It's a women's conference,
It's
Mr.
women's,
Eric.
all right. Okay.
You want to come move some boxes? You want to come do registration?
I'm asking for a friend, Kelly. It's my friend.
I'm sorry,
my
you're
friend
asking
wants
for a
to
friend.
know.
I know, I forgot. Asking for a friend. Tell your friend that we can use some muscles.
Okay. No, I mean, the reason I asked for my friend, because this sounds like great information. It sounds like a transformational event, right? Like where you'll come back and not be the same as when you got there.
That is the hope. That is the desire that we hope to see, that when they leave, they will not be the same.
Amen.
And not only that women will also network with each other. I can only imagine that day, the number of connections that will be made, the number of just collaborations. Oh my goodness. I wish I could just sit back and watch, but you know, we'll be working. But I can only imagine. And then sisterhood has been tried over the years. Now, I know you're a man and you probably don't see it from our perspective, but and I'm not prejudiced by any means, but African-American women, we rank, I just saw these statistics and talked about it the other day. We rank between, I think it was 2013 through 2019. We were at the top of the game in terms of entrepreneurship. So meaning new businesses were formed and being built.
Hey,
I
lost connection to my mic.
Okay.
Lost connection to my mic.
You're back.
Yeah, we can hear you, Angela.
We can hear you, Angela.
In a podcast and it said he lost
Angela.
We can hear you.
Mute, please.
I'm sorry, Kelly, continue.
It's okay. But I'm just saying Black women have really just been rising. And, you know, it's just been wonderful to watch. And I'm glad it's a proud moment for me to be a Black woman today. And our Black men are doing awesome things as well. But, you know, when that focus is, that light is shining on us, I think we are, as they say in the world, killing it. We're killing the game. We're at the top. And I don't see us slowing down, to be frank. I don't see us slowing down. And so it's a wonderful thing. And I'm looking forward to just seeing those collaborations happen during the conference. And not only just that, just seeing women set free. The night, Friday night when they check in and we come back down and we start our little networking. The pajama party is really just an opportunity for women to talk about any and everything. And as they say in Vegas, what goes on in the room
stays in the room.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, that sounds like a fantastic event.
Yeah.
I am curious, like, what are your biggest conference planning lessons learned? 'Cause we have people that are thinking of doing similar things to what you're doing. What are some of the lessons learned that you like to share about this experience?
One thing that I would say, and I tell you, this is like a key point. Start early. Whatever you do, start early. Don't wait for the last minute to put something like this together. Start early, because there's so many intricate parts, to putting a conference together. So you're talking about, getting with the conference center, finding a venue. Let's start there, okay? Because that's really the first thing we did was found the venue, the conference center. And we found a very nice conference center that's connected to a hotel, a very renowned hotel. So finding the venue, and then from the venue, then you have to invite the speakers, all the people that are participating in the conference to make it a success, and then from there, getting all your marketing, your advertising, all of that together and in order, flyers and invitations out, and things like that. Then we even went a step further and we had like a spring fling where we invited ladies that we know out so that we can in person, we fed them, cocktails, just a nice event, raffles, and it was a very nice backyard spring fling, where everybody enjoyed themselves. And we got to telling them in person what to expect at this Life Lift conference, and then turn around. We had a summer showcase just in June, as well, where, we were able for people to see the fashions, of our renowned designer that will be doing the fashion show from California, Miss Janice Wilborn and the Wilborn Sister Designs, so it's like you have to touch these people, it's more to it than just putting it on Facebook or putting it on Instagram or putting it on social media. We're actually touching these people. And what's so ironic, Eric, is that at every event that we put together to promote this conference, we get additional attendees. People are buying tickets, which is just a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Because they see how real it is and they see, what's to come, so it's just these little events, these auxiliary events are just little tasters of the big meal that you're going to get, at the end of September. So yeah, it's a lot involved. So that's why I say start early.
Start early. I can echo that one just from the different things. Things always take longer than you anticipate, and they sometimes cost more than you anticipate. And I think it is easier if you can get out in front of it. So, Kelly, back to you. I mean, what else do the people need to know about this conference that we haven't shared up to this point?
Let's see what they need to know. They need to know that these soul sisters over here are praying. We are fasting. We are asking God for some downloads to come down. Because let me just say this, Eric. And I recently did a post I did a live on Facebook about a week ago. Because I wanted people to understand that we aren't just in this for as they say, for looks, for fashion, for show, not even for money, of course. But this thing is real, okay? And we've had to have our own come to Jesus meetings, okay? You're talking about 4 amazing Black women coming together who are brilliant, who are good at what they do, and we all kind of can be bosses, okay? We're all bosses. Let me just be Let me just be very clear. We all have very strong personalities. And, have we bumped heads? Have we had some clashes? But of course we have. And to piggyback on what Latonya was saying, in preparing for the conference, I'm glad that we have this opportunity. We thank you again, because I like to let the world know that we are just as real as they are real. And though we might have had some conflicts and we might have bumped heads, and our sister Jerry is not here, and she has an amazing personality as well. But the one lesson that we have learned in this planning is that in any situation that you want to be great, anything that you know that you've been called to do, anything that you know that's part of your mission, the enemy, the devil, the adversary, he's going to come hard. He is coming hard. Do you hear me? I don't care what job you have. I don't care what business you're trying to start. You got to prepare yourself. You gotta suit up, because he's coming. And so we've had to suit up, because when we planned this conference with every woman in mind. It was designed for not just for us and the things that we thought we would like. It was designed for every woman in mind. So that the adversary don't like that, because we're hoping for healing. We're hoping for deliverance. And and though we're not saying this is not a church function, we're real about this thing, because we believe in the power of what God can do just through connections, just through communication. And so we're excited. I know you can tell it. I know you can feel it because we are. That's how powerful, even through the planning phases, it has been for us.
Yeah. I mean, you said a lot right there, and I think whenever you're pursuing excellence, you can expect there's going to be adversity.
Yes.
You just have to count on it. That's like just a part of the process.
Yeah.
I think there's this pull towards mediocrity. If you just look at the societies, when you're trying to get out there, it's definitely, you can expect there's going to be challenges. But I admire the three of you. I mean, the four of you. I know Geraldine is not on, just for how you're pressing forward and just for this noble cause. And you can just hear it. You can hear it, right, in your voices and you just the excitement. And that's why I said, I want to go.
Well, thank you.
I know it's a women's conference, but I want to go, because I can hear your passion, and I know this is going to be life changing. Angela, were you able to get back online with your microphone and everything? I will take that as a no. Oh man.
I know.
All right. So we're coming to the final segment. It's called Write This Down. Right. So this is where each of us go around and we share at least one aspect of this episode that we want people to write down so they can level up. And so, Tanya, I'll start with you. What do the people need to write down based off of this episode?
Okay. One, they can write down our website address. How about that? So they can get more information about the Life Lift Conference. And our website address, is Soul Sisters, SOULSistersATL.com. So that's www.soulsistersatl.com. And on that website, they will get all of the information about the conference. They will get the purpose for the conference. They will get any and everything that they need to know about the Soul Sisters. So that would be dynamic. Yeah.
Okay. Write that down. SoulSistersATL.com.
That's it.
All right. Kelly?
Well, so that's the logistics. And you probably gotten a taste of who Kelly is a little bit now. I'm all about, I really, really just want women to understand for this conference that it's not just any old conference. That's what we've been on here expressing. And I already did my little spiel on start where you are, do what you can, use what you got. But I have to also leave this message. So write this down. And I have to apologize for the echo in advance.
Right. That's Angela. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. But this is what I want to tell you. Even in the midst of getting started with your businesses, and you know, you're going to go through a phase in life where you're going to have to reboot. I compare it to a computer, you know, being on your computer. So that's where this whole Life Live conference comes from. I had to reboot. And when you're rebooting and you're sitting in front of your computer, you're waiting for your IT guy to come, and your rebooting don't seem to do the job. What else is he going to tell you to do? Refresh. Sometimes you got to refresh. So when you come to this conference, that's what this 3-day retreat conference is all about. Not just rebooting, but it's refreshing. But not only does the refreshing sometimes doesn't even work. Sometimes you might just have to rebuild. And that part right there is powerful. How do you rebuild? You may have to connect with some other divine connections. You never know who you're sitting next to. That thing worked for me. I have a publications company, and I went to a women business meeting and was sitting next to a lady who was a publisher who lived in my neighborhood. That is what I'm talking about. The power of connecting. And even when rebuilding seems like it's moving a little slow, you might also have to reinvent. So when we talk about rebooting, we talk about refreshing, we talk about, what did I say? What's the other one? Rebuilding. Sometimes you have to reinvent. And you can get all of that at this Women's Life Live conference. I'm serious about this thing. I am, because I've lived that life. I needed a life lift. And I just pray that God uses each of us to help usher in this whole life live for any woman who needs it in their lives. So write that down.
Let me tell you. Let's see. Reboot, refresh, rebuild, and then reinvent.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah, that applied. That has a lot of applications, and this is perfect that you're mentioning this, because we've got entrepreneurs that need to do one of four, or may need to do all four.
All four. I've had to do all four. I have.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for sharing that. So my piece for this segment, and I've been sharing this here lately. I just believe, like, the way I look at things is that everybody knows something that I don't know. I don't care, because a lot of times it's easy to get into this thing, as an entrepreneur. Let's say you had some success, you think, okay, I already know all of that. But I think you have to recognize the fact that everybody knows something that you don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the beauty with aligning with people for special projects, because everybody's bringing something to the table. That's the beauty of going to a conference.
Yes.
Because you'll meet people that can just really give you a complete, you're looking at something one way the whole time, and then you go to this conference and now your perspective is totally shifted.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing everybody needs to write down, that everybody knows something that you don't know.
That you don't know.
That's
well,
good.
They say that if you're the smartest person in your circle, you need to change circles.
Exactly.
You don't need to be in the same circle with all, you're the smartest one. I want to be able to pull from someone else.
Right.
Learn from someone else.
It's funny, like Ted and I talk about this. Like, I'm looking for groups where I feel like I'm like the slacker in the group. I want to be like, man, I got to get it together. They're going to put me out, man. I got to step my game up. But I think when you run with a fast crowd, it helps you to get faster.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So that's why I applaud you for what you're doing. And because I think it's really going to bless a lot of people. So now, again, we know the website, soulsistersatl.com. What do they need to know about, like, the dates, times? What else do they need to know? Women are just running to sign up right now.
That's right. Come on.
So the dates are Friday, September 29th, 2023 through October 1st, 2023. The location is the Decatur downtown Emory Conference Center, right? Host hotel is the Marriott Courtyard Suites, downtown Decatur, Emory Hotel. And registration starts that Friday at 4 p.m. And it's going to be nonstop from Friday to Sunday.
Get ready. Get ready.
Get
Get
ready.
ready.
TD Jake says, get ready, get ready, get ready.
Yeah. But she's right. All of that information you can find on our website. And to register for the conference, we have a Zelle or a Cash App, and you can find that information on the website under the link that says registration. So everything you need to know is on the website. And for people who are probably wondering, because we get this a lot, oh, I'd love to be a vendor, or I love to perform, or whatever. We are sold out of vendor spots. That's the blessing of it. Our vendor spots got sold out probably within the first week of announcing. We also have an author's row where we have some new authors who are going to be featuring their books. Those spots sold out. So when I tell you, people want to be here because it's just going to be a room full of movers and shakers going to be in the room.
That's a sign.
It is.
If vendor spots are already sold out, that's telling you.
Yeah.
Having been a vendor at many things, I'm going to invest in something where I know there's going to be people, it's going to be a great crowd. So no, that's a great sign, and congratulations to you on that.
Thank you. Thank you. And we made it a point not to duplicate our vendors. You know how you go somewhere and I've seen 5 candle makers or 5 t-shirt people. we made it a point. We're not doing that.
Right.
because we're women, and women love to shop. So we made it a point to make it very clear that we wanted only one for each category. And so far we hope that we're bringing, I'm telling you, this conference was designed for the ladies. We had them in mind.
So that vendor's row is going to be hot. That's going to be a hot thing at this conference. Hot, as they would say, right?
Yeah.
But because our guests will be able to shop to their drop, actually, with our vendors row.
Yeah.
Awesome. So before we sign off, I did want to give you the opportunity. I know you've got individual things. If there's anything you wanted to promote, I know Angela, we're having some technical issues, so certainly.
Oh man.
We'll connect with you, and we'll put information you want to share in the show notes and all that good stuff. So Latonya, anything that people should know about upcoming projects you have?
So actually I have a Facebook page called Blessed to Blessed Network. And it's where on a weekly basis I put word for the weeks out, just something for people to meditate on, scriptures for people to meditate on for that week, and they could just keep going back to it because I put several scriptures, for meditation purposes, and all the messages are life-changing messages, right? So I want to just shout out my Blessed to Blessed Network, and go on the page, like it, love it, and just get blessed. Yeah, and I have a project coming with that very soon that I wish not to disclose right now, but I'm just very excited, about that Blessed to Blessed Network. Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. Blessed to Blessed Network. Make sure you check that out. All right, Kelly.
Thank you. Yes, and Blessed to Blessed Network is powerful. She brings a mighty word every time. And before I even get started, I got to do this, Mr. Eric, really quickly. I've got to, just kind of highlight my girls who weren't able to be here. Jerry just wrote a book. She's an author of a new book called Distractors. It's an amazing book that she talks about distractors in our lives, and she's on Amazon, but I think she sells them herself. So Geraldine Holmes, you can find her on Facebook, and her book is called Distractors. Our girl, Miss Angela, I think she just signed off, but Angela is a Mary Kay consultant as well. I think she and her husband have a wine business as well. They have a lot going on as well. So I'm sure she'll chime in where her knows. I had to give them their plug in real quick. And then I retired from CDC about 4 years ago, Centers for Disease Control. But when I retired, I had a mission, I had a purpose, and I've been able to to work in it full time. And I thank God for this opportunity. I have a publications company called My Story Publications, because, and I say my stories because we all have one. And so God has given me the ability to write. I love writing. I write better than I speak. And so I help people with book development. I partner with another publisher who handles the big publishing part, in getting books out there. But I help people with their books, editing and so forth and all of that. And then I just recently acquired a space for a bookstore. I call it a boutique. It's called More Than Just Books, located in Snellville, Georgia, right off of Scenic Highway. Is located inside the Painted Tree boutiques next to the Old Navy on Scenic Highway. I do a plethora of things, but that's just because, I'm one of those trying to use all of my gifts and skills and talents. And so I'm an empowerment coach. I'm an entrepreneur coach. I'm a writing coach, whatever. I'm certified as a life coach, and my focus is relationships. But I just love people. In a nutshell, I love people. And so I want to see people do their very best. And together, my husband and I, we work together in promoting relationships. We both wrote books together. And God willing, next year, we'll be able to be on our little circuit and promote our books and just really talk about relationships and helping to heal marriages and couple relationship type things. So thank you for this opportunity. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Oh, it's certainly my pleasure. So, Angela, like I said, we will get your information. We'll put it in the show notes so people know the upcoming projects you have going on. But, man, this has been a fantastic episode of the 30-Minute Hour. Again, I'm inspired by your passion and this conference, the Soul Sisters, soulsistersatl.com. Don't forget to go to that website, get all the information you need to register. September 29th through October 1st are the dates taking place in Decatur, Georgia. Make sure you are in the place. It's a women's conference.
Come on in. Yes.
Come on in. And don't forget that you can actually also go to Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all of those podcasting platforms, because we're going to upload this episode to those platforms and you can go back and listen, and make sure you share the show.
Yes.
Don't keep this a secret. Share the show so everybody gets an opportunity to attend this great conference. That is our time for this week on the 30-Minute Hour. And until next time,
thank you.
Have a great one.
Thank you. Bye.